All right, here we are in the completion lab on
Yeah,
March 3rd.
we were gonna talk about a new discovery.
Oh, it's so fun. Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay, so I just want to say last night I looked at the dashboard, it was 3.75K, and this morning it's 4.4K with the
wow.
with which
What?
is it's just views, but it's an
Yeah,
interesting like we literally didn't do anything in that time period. And
right, right.
we haven't even really taken advantage of anything
We
that it's
so we
offering
should
yet.
we should tell everyone what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, that would be good. Do you want to know what we're talking about? You do want to know this because it's
Yeah.
so cool.
So really a kind of, I don't know, a rabbit hole of just curiosity that led to this. Like, um, I was trying to post something on, oh no, I was on Skool and I saw somebody else's post had got this really cool animation in the timeline and it was a GIF. I was like, oh, cool. I'll have to make some GIFs because it's really, you notice it because the movement is there, right? And so I even went and made a GIF, but my GIF didn't move. And I was a bit disappointed, a bit disappointed. And then, and then I realized, oh, Skool uses Giphy, so they actually you choose from a GIF
Right.
library run by Giphy, right?
Right. So all the social media platform like Instagram, Facebook do that too. You can just add it to any
Right, and
comment,
that's
right?
that's the bit I hadn't realized.
Yeah.
So anyway, I tried to make my own thing, didn't quite work. Then I did a bit of Googling and I was like, oh, you can get an account on Giphy. We have two pronunciations. We can't decide whether it's is it
Yeah, well, I mean, the Giphy.com actually says Jiffy. They actually call
Giphy.
it Jiffy, but everyone else is calling it Giphy. So I guess it's,
Yeah, it's whatever it is.
yeah.
Anyway, so I
That's
discovered
just proof that you could kind of have any name. If it takes off, it doesn't matter. People are going to
totally,
get adjusted to it
totally.
because it doesn't even make sense in the spelling either. It's like you
No,
don't even know how to spell it. Is it F? Is it an IE? Is it a
exactly. Anyway,
yeah,
so I discovered this and I was like, oh, I was in the process of trying to apply for an account and I had a bunch of technical issues. That's a side story. But while I was there, I was like, oh, I looked at this guy, his handle is Goosify, right? It's like, because I'd noticed he has a lot of GIFs. So I was like, I wonder if he must have a pro account on Giphy. So I looked him up and I was like, 200 million views for his content. I was like,
yeah,
what? And I did a bit more searching and I found I did a post on Schoolers explaining this, right? And we should probably just repost that on our page because not
yeah,
everyone will be
great
able to
idea.
get Schoolers, right?
Yeah,
So this is something like 354 million views that three people have achieved with their GIFs. And so I eventually got a professional account, got approved within a matter of hours. We loaded, I don't know, 10 GIFs or something like that, just like really to experiment. The next morning we had, I forget what the number was, I don't know, but it was, so now we're
yeah,
at 4K or something,
yeah,
4,000 views.
yeah,
We haven't even tried because what we're planning to do is create a whole load of GIFs for the book and everything that we're doing
yeah,
because it's our strategy. We believe that you can turn anything into a visual, interesting asset. Instead of just having words on a page or a course, you can
yeah,
bring it to life, I guess, animate it, give it
yeah,
character, give it names, give it color, give it personality, and then turn those into GIFs. And we weren't thinking this like 2 weeks ago because we didn't even know that Giphy existed. And now we are. We're like, okay, well, this totally fits our strategy. it's what we call atomic content, right?
Yeah.
This is the word that we've really, and we haven't. It's not our word. It's a word that people use. It's like the small, and it's a bit like atomic habits. You know, if you've heard the book by James Clear, which is like the smallest exercise, the smallest little
There's those
habitual
golden
do. Right,
nuggets, those things that you can absorb right away without like
right.
any drama.
And so, atomic content is just the smallest piece of reusable content.
Yeah.
Because the easier you make your content to reuse, the other people will reuse it. They'll use your images in a blog post or share it, or and this totally fits with the book, and the culture dance, which we haven't really talked about yet. Um, but the back channel, people share a lot. Like 80% of sharing is not through links and public
Yeah.
websites. It's
Yeah.
through SMS messaging. It's through email. It's through stuff you
Mhm.
can't see,
I
right?
think I think really the point is that you don't have to keep you can what we did so that everyone that is new to this idea, we have a book that turned into kind of multiple books that turned into multiple card decks, but each different thing out of the book we really developed in a very, very strong way, like the characters, the models, the diagrams. And so then we were able to take these and now we're able to make these little animated GIFs and stickers that people can share that that it would just take off on its own without us having to do, so much
And
work
so
because they fit
it's
in with like what everyone's talking about.
and the thing you don't realize here is if you didn't know about YouTube, you wouldn't go to YouTube to find a video, right? Like everyone knows about YouTube today, but not everyone thinks, oh, I must go to YouTube to find something. The really clever part of Giphy is like, how do we know about Giphy? Because of Skool. And that got us curious to realizing that you can actually, or noticing.
Okay, here's an interesting thing. I use them every on Facebook. I use them all the time because I feel like I don't want to respond without one because it just brings more life to it. Like, yay, celebrating people or
Right,
like kind of like building rapport with them. So I just was always intrigued with them, but it never dawned on me like that I could make my own
right,
or support, you know, my own brand with it because
right.
that's
Yeah,
the genius behind it.
no, absolutely. But it sneaks into you. You may have used Giphy without even realizing you're using
Oh,
Giphy.
yeah. Right.
I think that's the thing, right? And when we saw these numbers, it's like, oh my God. And so I was impressed by these other people numbers, but I'm pretty impressed that we've got 4 or 5,000 views already. And
Yeah. The
we
other
haven't
thing that we discovered,
tried.
though the other thing we discovered is that, and I hadn't really looked at this, but when you're sharing a GIF on Facebook, whatever, there is, a URL or some kind of branding on many of them that
Right,
if you click on it, it brings up their website and you can actually discover things that way. So if you're like, wow, this is intriguing enough for you to
yeah.
go further down the rabbit hole and discover, you're automatically spreading your stuff all over without like with
And,
that back channel of things you don't see right now are happening behind the
and
scenes.
the other thing that blew my brain apart is when you shared some research.
Oh
Do
my
you want to
God,
tell me
right.
about
We
that?
went to yeah. I mean, that was, you are literally using this to teach people things. And I never thought of it that way because it's just a 3 to 6 second movement, but there's a lot of things that you can do in that amount of time. And all you have to do is get someone's attention, right? And you only have a certain amount of time in which to do it. Because even if you're doing a long video, you only have those first 3 seconds in order to get them anyway.
Right.
So this is like perfect. You don't even have to do a long version of anything. Well, you
Well,
do, but
but
this is
also,
just
but also Grok will produce you a 6-second video of just about anything
yeah,
for free, and you can then turn those videos into GIFs,
yeah,
right?
yeah. There's many ways to do it because as I'm exploring, you can actually do all of that inside of Giphy. because they
Right.
let you add
Yeah.
filters and add words and add the
Right.
animation inside there. So if you didn't want to go into Grok and do certain things, but we've gone down the path of which makes your the thing about it is if you want to have original content. And so our thing was we want all our own original content that started from this big idea that we've been talking about for 2 years to, what's the problem, to a book to solve the problem, to
Right.
like what are the characters and models, and then going really deep on them and creating them visually. And now we can use all our visuals to create
I think
a
our big
message. Right.
takeaway was, I mean, from that research that basically shows that people learn better from this kind of content than it has very strong learning qualities, right? Which is really
Yeah.
important because it's very attention gaining, right? Because it speaks to a very young audience. The whole it's this mimific, you know, culture thing that's going on, right? You can be part of that, and literally any book should be able to visualize the big ideas in the book, the big teachings, the big learnings that you're trying to communicate,
Yeah.
and then make those GIFs available from anywhere. And then you can actually,
Yeah.
add
It,
them in your emails. You can add them via social,
yeah.
and anyone can find them anywhere. It's pretty.
It's
I mean,
brilliant. It's really brilliant.
honestly, I'm shocked that this thing was hiding in plain sight right under our noses and we didn't see it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that was just it's really a great, and we're careful. And this is the thing, like there's this fine line between when you're creative to go down all kinds of rabbit holes, but we've been good, and because we have each other to bounce off of, to like kind of say, okay, kind of that's a rabbit hole. Like, is this really good for our path, for
Right.
the outcome that we want? And so you do have to think about that, but you also have to be willing to dive in a little bit to be sure you're not missing
Well,
things
and
that fit really well.
one thing I don't think that I mean we've been talking about atomic content for quite a while now, right? We've
Yeah, I mean, since
because
that's how we met, talking about it.
right. So, but it's so funny to me. I mean, my background was like as listly social lists as atomic content.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
decks are a type of media
yeah.
atomic content, right? And here was another type of content that I'd never like categorized. I guess because I just didn't know Giphy existed. I mean, I don't know. It just,
Right.
but
Right. I
now I'm
mean,
like,
there's so
oh my
many
god,
things out there, right? And so it is really finding the things that support what you're doing.
right?
But
And
if, when you have a book and and you have content and you want to create an experience for people,
right,
you have to think about what are the things, what are the ways that you can make it more, engaging, more fun, more playful, more like
game
that they
like,
can absorb it, that you get their attention really, because everyone's vying for your attention. And it's so much out there that, we're so distracted. So how do you do that? How do you get people's attention? And we say it's fun. If you're offering something that's fun and playful and a really interesting experience, I mean, everyone wants that. No one wants
right.
the same boring
And
like PDF to download, right?
it's funny, but we've we've followed this trend of the shortening of everything, right? Like we've gone down this kind of the TikTok was shorter than
Yeah,
the YouTube video was short, and then
yeah,
shorts got shorter in order to follow up with TikTok, and
yeah,
really GIF is even shorter than that, right?
yeah.
But it also speaks to that the Google research was it 7 4 11 7 11 4 I forget what it is, the zero moment of truth research, which says you need to be seen so many times in so
Oh
many
yeah,
places in a certain period of time. And a GIF is a really good way of just boosting
yeah,
your visual recognition, right? And
yeah.
the bit that shocks me is I haven't seen anyone that's doing it like the people who are doing it on Giphy, who like one guy I found had several billion views, right? And I don't know how he's monetizing or why what he's doing, but I mean something's going right
Well,
there.
I
But
mean, if you think about it, even if you post on Instagram, no matter where you post, you can put little stickers on things. And
right,
so this is all built into all of that. So, I mean, think of the amount of people that are searching for things. So you can do these little GIFs, you can do the little stickers, which I'm
Right.
starting to do right now. And it's like people will be able to use them on their stuff and,
Uh,
start to recognize your
you know what?
brand.
I'm curious to see, and maybe I haven't really looked, but I would have expected at this point to have seen, a set of brands doing this. Like, I've not heard anyone talk about this. I've not heard Gary Vaynerchuk,
There's
you know,
yeah, and there's
Emoji,
actually,
like,
um, I searched like on YouTube for different what's the like for best practices for tagging and things like that. There's really not that much information on it. I was surprised. There's a couple short little videos, but nothing really like to talk about the power of like what it really can be doing.
right.
So
We showed you.
give it a
Did you
shot.
got your? Have you got some gifts to show there?
Let's see if I could share. Yep, hold on. Uh, all right, so here's our Giphy channel, and you
Right,
can see right here. Look, I mean, how fun!
right. And the crazy thing is, if you've got these assets, which we already had these assets because we've built the book, but we built all that stuff because we absolutely know this is the right strategy for communicating in this day and age, how to get attention.
Yeah,
The gift thing is just a bonus layer on top of everything that we're already doing.
yeah.
It-
I mean, this is literally the book cover,
Yeah,
and and these are characters, archetypes from the
right.
book that explain a whole concept, but we've just taken them to use them like
And
in
there's that
different ways.
that think different sign is just so the neon, like
Yeah.
that's so
I mean,
distinctive
think
of our
about
brand.
how people, you could put this under anyone's post, really, right?
Right.
And right back here, we have our logo that um, will link back, or
Yeah.
someone can say, what the heck is this? Who the heck is this? They look it up and, then everything comes up. So this is, yeah, pretty cool.
So yeah.
And so it
Anyway,
looks like at the back end, right?
yeah.
And then you go and you look at your collections. Yeah.
And you got I love the spinning logo you did. That's kind
I
of funny.
know. That's actually a sticker.
Oh
So
wow.
you can see you can take, yep, it's a sticker.
Right.
So yeah, so we're just going through this and we're just learning, but because it's just such a magnificent way to do things and it fits in the experience that we want to offer. So you always want to think about like what is the experience you want for your people and can you just push a little more to can you just play a little more to give them a nicer experience, a playful experience, something they're good, something that's worth their time, right? Because everyone wants their time, their valuable time. That is, you are actually asking them to trade their valuable time for something you want to share. So you got to make it like good.
It is. That's absolutely true. And fun. Like, why do people send gifts to people? Because it's less. It's like a sentence you didn't have to type or say.
It's an
It's
emotional,
emotional.
like uh,
That's it. You just said
little
the key word
little
there.
tap, right? Because it,
It's
it brings up something. It brings up a smile. It brings up a laugh. It brings up like, oh my God, like it brings up something
a
instant.
memory, a trigger.
Yeah,
Half of
just
these
like, you know,
And these are so connected to memes. Like half of the gifs you see are as soon
yeah,
as a new meme spawns, there's a new 10,000 gifs popping up because
yeah,
everyone's recreating for that, right? So
yeah.
it's a very
So
connected way to live inside modern culture.
yeah. So hey, so check it out. And if you have any questions, ask us and we'll be responding to all of your stuff with a little GIF on the bottom
Yeah.
to make you smile, to make you think, let me go flip some
Yeah.
cards around. Let me go throw some dice. Let me go play. Let me go do something different. Let me think different, right? Let me celebrate. Let me throw confetti, just whatever, like just raising everyone's vibration, really.
Awesome. Well, that was our GIF deep dive into the world of GIFs.
Yeah. And we will be sharing, and this is a lab for you to come, for you to bring your stuff here to the table, and we can kind of help you get to move closer to your finish line, and also share amazing ideas. All right, so we'll see you. We're here every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we will see you soon.
Bye.